think, yeah, I think I can do like this. Show me what I'm sharing. Okay. Can you see the uh, Excel file?
Yes.
Okay. So then that will be recorded. Okay. Uh, so let me tell you a bit about myself. So I started working PHP actually, developing some websites. Then I switched to Java, and at some point I started to work on a company that was called Danger in California. The company was California. I worked from Romania remotely, and the the let me charge my headphones. Sorry for that. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Just a bit. I now realize when the headphones are charging, they are not working. Why would you even do that? Anyway, so you hear me okay? Okay, thank you. Uh, so this company was developing an operating system. They had like a team from BEOS operating system that was like a multimedia, uh, similar to Linux operating system, and those guys migrated to this company and built the mobile operating system, and the application layer was in Java, and they actually built their own JVM. And I was in the core team in the Java space and some of the C space. And at some point, this company got the co-founder moved away, and he started a new company. And that company was doing the same thing, an operating system. And at some point, Google bought that company, and they brought along like more than 1,000 developers, and this is how Android was born. And that was a very interesting period in my life. It was I learned a lot. There were people with a lot of experience, so it was very interesting. And then I moved to some building some healthcare solutions, from which now they have like they were helping pharmaceutical companies to do clinical trials on people after they do the research on the medicine, and now they have like clients from the top 10 of the pharma companies. And then I switched to Rust, and it was a very good decision for me. I started some open source projects, and one interesting is I did it for as a learning project. Was an encrypted file system which is called rankfs. You can find it on GitHub, and it's uh, very interesting to work on it. And at some point, I said that I want to work more, and I was thinking to monetize it. Then I realized it's a lot of work. I cannot do it alone. Then I thought that okay, I'll hire some freelancers, but I don't make money out of it. So how do I pay them? So it's not a scalable idea, feasible idea. So then I wrote on some Rust communities, and I said, look, I have this project that I'm working on, open source project. Would you like to contribute to open source? And actually, there were a lot of responses, and somehow a community was created, and now it's quite large. But idea is that okay, men joined because they thought that open source is contributing to open source is interesting, but maybe they didn't have enough time, so not everybody got involved. But we are like for the whole team, community is around 68 people, and the the ones that are actively contributing are around 10, 15, let's say, and which is nice, which is very, very nice, and I really appreciate all of them. They actually do a great work. And then I realized that there were some times in my experience learning Rust where Rust has his hills that you need to cross, and it is a bit hard sometimes. But after that, it's easier, and it will help to have someone to guide you in those times. Also, technically, also to keep up with the moral and increase your moral. And I was thinking that it will be great to be the mentor that I didn't have, and it will be nice to have a Rust to hold a Rust course for the community, and then I thought that maybe not okay just to hold it just for the community, and then I targeted like the whole public, and this is how you came, and thank you for joining, and the this idea somehow I transmit it to others in the community, and we have like many skills in the community. So we have most of us are developers, but we have the DevOps guy, we have a QA manual automation, and UI UX front end developers. So seems that the idea was catchy for them too, and they also started to do similarly and hold some keep some courses. And actually, we now have a DevOps course in progress for 4 weeks already, and this week this Rust course started, and QA course started, and also soon there will be a, a course in UI UX that will take place, and we have all much other courses in on the roadmap. We'll see how it goes. And the xorio term or terminology is it is like on GitHub you can find it as an organization, and also on LinkedIn. So it's not like a company; it's just like an umbrella entity that holds all these projects, because the encrypted file system is what get this started. But we have a lot more projects. So if you open this site, you can I'll send it, but you can see about this group that we have. So this xorio is mainly referring to the whole community, and these are the projects that we uh, started, and yeah, many of them are just at the beginning and at the research phase, but they are waiting for somebody to work on them, as some are quite interesting. And uh, we are when in the for this Rust course, you will have three mentors. So it's me. I'm Rad Mariash, and we have the other two. Which, if you are here, please make a short introduction about yourself. I know Eob, if you are here, can you do a short intro?
Sure. Hello, everyone. So my name's Iyo. I am a software engineer, and I've been working with Radu for the past few months. I've known Radu for the past few months. I'm really glad to be part of this journey and to be helping you guys with your Rust journey in general. Um, and if you have joined the Discord, then you can find me there. If you have any questions at any moment, please feel free to reach out. And yeah.
Uh, Thank you.
Yes,
Shivang.
sir.
Hi everyone, my name is Shivang and I'm from India and I have been working with Radu for past 2-3 months and I'm working on implementing a network protocol in Rust. It has been an interesting journey. I am also in Discord. You can just ping a message if you want for any doubt or anything. I have experience of around 2 years in Rust. Thank you.
Thank you. Um so, in order to take this course, there are some requirements or constraints that it helps if you have. So, of course, it will help if you know how to speak English, especially technical in programming language terms, in computer terms, and it's quite important to have experience in another language because this is a Rust for beginners course, but it's beginners in the Rust uh, ecosystem. So it's not for programming beginners in programming, because actually Rust, I personally believe, is not ideal to learn as a first language because it has some different concepts which some are harder to grasp for beginners, and it offers you, so it has some particularities and characteristics that offers you some advantages that you can best understand if you come from other languages and you experience those problems there, especially if you come from C. Then you will see that Rust offers you a lot of advantages compared to C, and you will appreciate that even more. And as if you had experience with any programming language, I'm sure that you encounter a GitHub. So yeah, some experience with GitHub is needed. Uh, this is like a more generic requirement for anything that is related to a subject of learning. So it's good that if you have a curiosity, and if you are able to learn information by yourself. And this course doesn't require any degree, any level of education. So if you are a self taught person, is perfectly fine. And yeah, you'll need a Discord account, but I'm sure you have one if you are here. And some of the advantages of taking this course is you will be initiated in Rust programming language, and you'll have a better understanding of some quite interesting concepts that can make a language to be memory safe, to be performant, also efficient, and also a concept that you can carry on in other languages too. And we will offer from our side, we will offer you technical support. We recommend the course materials, the resources that you can use to learn. It's a guided self-learning, so the idea is that you will need to learn the information by yourself, and we will guide you how to do it and what to use, and we will will help you answering your questions. But we will not it will not be like assisted mentoring or something like that. So it will be like uh, we'll have we'll actually we'll speak about this later. So, and this is what we'll offer you, and what this course doesn't offer you is uh, we don't help you with any certification, so you don't get any, I don't know, paper that states that you took the Rust course. We offer you assisted learning. We don't offer assisted learning like person to person and so on. And it's not about getting a job. So we are not a company like we want to look for people for hiring purposes. So this will help you getting a job, but not directly from us. So it will be a good for you in the future. And we estimate that it will take about 8 weeks. We will have one meeting per week in the same time like this. And on over the week you will have some resource materials, some course materials that you will need to read by yourself. You can of course ask questions on Discord, and we'll gladly help you. And we'll have in the weekly calls we'll have discussions about your questions. So we'll answer your questions. You'll have also some home assignments, and we'll analyze those and help you with those. And then also we'll be discussing about some of the topics that are in the course for next week, and we'll also try to give you some practical examples about the course from last week. And yeah, the most of the, let's say, the activity you will need to do by yourself. You'll need to learn that, and you will also need to do those home assignments. And all the communication will be made through this Discord channel. And we will be using as a reference for learning material. We'll be using the Rust book, uh, and I think it's a very good learning resource, and it offers uh, quite comprehensive information, and it's very useful as a starting point for learning Rust. And as a as an advantage, let's say, of taking this course is after that you will be able to build some of. I'll give you some examples of the application that you will be able to build after that, actually from scratch. You'll be able to build a complete application. So you could be like a relational SQL database. You could be like this would be like a NoSQL uh, version key value document database, URL shortener, website or service health checker. So this is like, for example, maybe you're familiar with SLA. So each service like Amazon and so on tell you that like you have an agreement with them that they tell you like we will offer you availability for our services like 99.95 or 99 percent of the time. So this is like you call 999 and based on that, how you can check the availability. You just could create a service like this, which check the service if it's online, if it's available, by sending a request, and you can do it like fixed intervals, like once a second and so on, and you can calculate the percentage of how long that service was up. You could also be able to build an encrypted file system like I did, a distributed file system, which is actually something that we are working on, a file synchronization service, and so on. We could also build like for example, a load balancer, uh, like a proxy, and so on. We can build quite a lot. And as a practical example, what we will do, so for the whole duration of the course, we will be building from scratch a mini Redis service, so something similar to like Redis, what Redis is. For you who is not familiar with Redis, this is an, a service that can keep information. You can keep like a key value pair stores like a map. You imagine you can keep like a map and use it like a cache. So normally this is kept in memory. It could be also saved on disk, but the advantage of it is that it's keeping it in memory, and it's very fast to get the values from. And the normally how they have like a simple key value type of values, but they also have like lists and sets that you can save in those values types. And some practical examples are, for example, are let's say you save something in a database. You have like an application that does collects data from IoT devices like temperature sensors or something like that, and the data is saved in a database, and then you have like some page which shows like charts for the last temperature or the average for the last hour, day, and so on, and all these, if they are extracted from the database, is a bit slower and also performant, and this is where a cache can come in place, and it will save the values that you calculated once in the cache and keep it in memory, and then the web page could get these values from the cache, which will be very very fast. And another use case is, for example, you can actually keep an entire web page there, and when the users request the web page, it will be served to them from the cache, from the memory, which is faster than reading it every time from the disk. And we will try to do it somehow that, based on what we learn, what chapters, what information do we learn in the chapters in the course, that information we could use to build parts of the of this service, of this application, and in the end we will have a complete service working. So it will be composed of two parts. It will be the Redis server, the cache server, and the clients, then the clients that communicates and read the data and alter the data. And hopefully we will try to do it distributed, like maybe we'll do it just replicated. So just each instance will have the same data, and if you have many readers from it, then the readers will first do the request to a load balancer, which will use like a round robin. Round robin is like just if you have a like a ring of nodes, it will just go from one to another and serve the request, so that it will distribute the load evenly. And this is the easier way to do it, like replicate it, but there are other approaches, which are, for example, sharded. Sharded is like if you have a lot of data, you will be distributing parts of the data on each node, and then based on what data you are requesting, the load balancer knows on what node to redirect your request, so that you will get it from there. So we hope that in the end we'll have uh, a nice application, nice working application, and then it will be useful for you to learn all these concepts. So mostly this is what I wanted to present you today. So just for you to have an idea of what this course is, what to expect, and what to do. And yeah, I didn't mention, I forgot to mention. So all this is free. You don't have to pay anything. You're not expected to pay anything, and you don't have any obligation. So you see, you didn't sign anything. So it's like if you like the course, we appreciate if you stay until the end. If you feel that it at some point is not for you, you can anytime leave. No string attached. So not a problem. Just take as much as you think is useful from this course, and then you can do whatever is best for your life and for your career. So if you have any questions, I'm very happy to answer them.
I have one question.
Sure.
I'm just wondering whether 1 week for 2 or 3 lessons throughout the book is enough, because we all have like our lives and our business, our work. Um, is it like a set in stone, or can we also like do it like on the experience and maybe decide that 2 weeks would be better, or do you prefer 1 week intervals?
No, so it's let's say it could be like a trial and error process. Let's call it. So we were thinking to let me share the screen so you see better. We were thinking to find the screen. Okay, you can see my spreadsheet again.
Yes.
Okay, so we were thinking to group the chapters like. For example, we'll group the this is one three no, one to three, 4, 6, and so on. So depending on the chapters, it's a grouping like that. But if we see that it's too much, like you said, so if you don't have enough time or something to allocate for that, yeah, we can any time just modify the pace. Not a problem because yeah, it's reasonable. You have your own activities that you need to attend. So maybe we can try like this with 1 week, like we try to do. And if you see, maybe we will have like we can have like a poll on Discord on let's say maybe on Thursday and see how everybody is. So if you are very close to, I mean, if you feel that you will finish the resource until Sunday, the next course, Saturday, sorry, the next course, we will have the call. If not, then we will move the call to the next week. So we can change actually from the first week to a 2 week pace. Let's say if we see it's too much.
Yeah, I'm more like worried about not the first chapters, but more the last ones, like starting maybe from smart pointers to advanced features.
Yeah, yeah. So
So
I think we could do actually this on every week. So maybe if you have weeks that so on Thursday, let's say we do a poll and see how many of you still doesn't feel that you will finish until our next call, and if okay are reasonable amount, then we will postpone the call by 1 week, and we can do this every let's say phase like this. So on every week, if we'll see, like you said, in the smart pointers one, if we'll see that it's not enough, yeah, we'll extend it. And you can extend it like what as long as is needed, so it's not no pressure. And we don't need to finish in like we estimated if we do like this grouping, it will be like 8 weeks, but we don't need to do it in 8 weeks. We can from our point of view, it's flexible, so we can extend it as much as it takes.
okay, that sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. If someone else has other problems, other questions, sorry. This is similar to GitHub and GitLab. This Codeberg, I'm not familiar either. Nicole, maybe you can tell us a bit about Codeberg. Yeah, so ideally we we will talk, I think, more in the next call. But we were thinking to. So I was thinking what. You understand? So we were thinking like uh, using like we were thinking what platform should we use for this course, and I did a bit of study, and what I realized is that this course is very similar to actually to a project, to a coding project, because you have something like let's say this course material. This course material could be kept in wiki. Okay, in our case, it's already public on the internet. But if not, you can keep it in wiki. Then you can have like for each parts of this course material, you can have like take each chapter and put it in a GitHub issue, and this is like what you will be using to uh, read at home, and you can ask your questions in there, and we can have discussions in the comments for that issue. And for example, for home assignments, we can create like another issue with the home assignments statement, and then you can create your code, uh, and you can create pull requests for this issue. And actually, in each pull request, you can assign us as the reviewers, and in each pull request, which is dedicated to you or your user, we can discuss exactly for your code. So this will help to keep the discussion contextual, and it's these pull requests will be public. So the idea is this course is not like a competition. You should never see it like this. So it's a all team helping. You should have a mindset that it's like all team helping and learning from each other. So if you see a solution to another colleague of you and you take a look and it inspires you and so on, it's very helpful, because it's not like you getting grades or something and you copy, because if you okay you don't do it and you just copy from someone else, actually you are stealing yourself. You don't make us anything wrong or something. We don't have a problem with that, but actually you are stealing your own let's say time that you invest in this, and you don't learn much. So maybe it's not practical for you at all. And in in GitHub, you also have this concept of projects, so you can see in the projects the status of each issues. So we were thinking to try using that approach, and we'll see how it goes. If it's very complicated, we'll change it, no problem. And yeah, if you feel that that doesn't fit your working style and mindset, you could also use others like Nicole suggested, and the Kotberg. So we can also review that. We'll see. So it's a flexible logistic, is not set in stone. So we are also trying to do it as also as a learning experience. For example, what we were thinking is to have these. This repo, for example, that we will be using for our course, to have it publicly. It is public already, but to promote it publicly, and anybody could take it and organize a similar course for their team or for their community. And it's like okay, if they could, let's say, take it and organize paid courses. I don't know. It's not. Let's say moral ethical for them to do this, because if they don't do anything in addition, but this is like how open source software is. You cannot force anybody to do just the right things, and I know, not sell your work, so you are exposed to this. Ideally, yeah, if they really want to sell it, they should add something to it, so something that will help the others. Personally, I'm very pro to this idea that the education should be not the education, the access to the information should be free. So in something like free and open source, actually education, but education it's a bit more broader concept and it involves more. But the access to information, I see that it should be free. So like we are trying to do this, and the if you okay you want to monetize something that you do, okay, you should uh, yeah, actually the let me show the source, the course will be this one that we'll be doing, and it already has a Apache license too. So Yeah, we'll tell it over Slack also. But the idea is that the project this project we will be using, as I mentioned before, and this what is what we want to make public, and yeah, it will have this Apache 2 license and will be public. And so the ones that will want to, I don't know, make some money out of education, I think it's fair. I don't have a problem with that, but you should do it by creating tools, creating a platform that could help others learn. So not by the specific information that you take. So I think not even if you write a book or something, it's not like you, I don't know, invented a lot of information in there, because the information was already present. You most likely you took it from other resources, and even if you go deep, lower level, you could think, so there is this like philosophical question: is it math discovered or invented? So I'm in the side that it is discovered, because all these concepts are already present in the nature. So we didn't invented the number p, the number e. So all these concepts are already present in the nature. We just somehow create a language that represents those concepts that we actually see. So this is discovery. So the same is with the information. You just okay, you have like the merit that you take some various type of unstructured informations, and somehow with your brain power you find some patterns that are maybe unique. The patterns may be unique for, okay, for the context, but if the world, let's say, would wait a bit longer, maybe another one would came and made the same relations and got to the same patterns. And okay, after that you present the information in a more organized way, and it's practical. But the information, it's just like the presentation layer. So the information by itself, the concept, are still the same. So you just present them differently. So if you just use a nicer font and use a different language to speak about gravity, the information about gravity is the same that you are transmitting. So it's not different than if you change the font and it looks better. Yeah. So if you have other questions or things that you feel mentioning, just feel free to speak. It's an open discussion. Nobody judge, or they should not judge you. I don't see any reason to. So if you want to, I don't know, clarify something more to see if this course is for you, if you feel that something was not clear on the evolution of the course, or something, or if you have some suggestions, which you can all the time, you can do it anytime over the duration of the course.
Hi, Radu. Can you hear me?
Yes.
No, cool. I just wanted to speak since I know how weird it is when you're speaking and nobody else is responding. So I just want to say that I'm excited to start this. I do have a background in programming, but it's been a long time since I've actually did some hands-on work. But I'm excited to go through your method. And actually, when you were describing the structure of the course, I really feel that the way that you thought of putting this together, like the recipe, is really interesting. So I'm really hoping it will work.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I hope to. And yeah, it's like a team effort. So if you feel that something goes sideways, you can anytime say it, and we'll try to make it better.
Don't worry about it. Much appreciated. I can only think about how much work you guys put into this, and you're gonna put into the whole thing. So
Thank you also.
thank you.
Thank you too. Yeah, I think it's a work worth putting, because actually this is how open source works. Actually, so it's like collaboration between all of us. So it's not like we do something special and we only want to take the merit. So nowadays you see that it's very hard to, you cannot build a solution from scratch, uh, building actually everything from scratch. So you need to build, you need to use some building blocks. So okay, we said that we will be building a Redis like application from scratch, but this from scratch means that we'll of course use some libraries, we'll use some parts of the, I don't know, the standard library, for example, the language that it's for. If you want to go very low level, you actually need to define the how low you need to say that, okay, lower than this I take for granted, because if you go like, I don't know, assembly, okay, you implement in assembly, but that gets converted to binary. So you take this, okay, but that binary gets executed in the CPU. That CPU actually, it's a, you can see it like a electron manipulator machine. Then what you take for granted? You accept the way the electrons interact. If you don't accept, then okay, you want to go much lower than that and do what the electron does. Well, I think that's the limit, at least for now, because you cannot go lower than an electron. You cannot see what is inside an electron. So somehow that's why it's considered now an elementary particle, but it's not for sure. So because we know that at some point, there was this concept of atom that was thought that this was the smallest building block, and we saw that actually there are quite more smaller building blocks that are composing it. So yeah, we never know. The next Einstein, Schrödinger, or others will come and see what's inside the electron too. But yeah, it's helpful to use resources that are already present. So also open source software helps not to, not all of us to just reinvent the wheel, but because if we all stay and reinvent the wheel all the time, we'll never do any much progress, because we have only so much time in this life universe simulation, call it how everybody thinks. But our time is very limited, and if you think that every thought that you have is something like a per unit of time, you actually could approximate and do a calculation how many ideas or how many thoughts you can have in your life, and how many actions, I mean how many line of code, for example, you could write based on those thoughts. So yeah, you are quite limited if you don't use what's already existed, because if you sum all the time that was spent until the civilizations got to this point. So there is this expression that current physicists, that there is where I heard it the first time, but it's applicable in all domains. So the current physicists are staying at on the shoulders of giants. So yeah, these giants build a lot of theorems and a lot of concept that we have already and will use when we discover something new. And the same, it's reasonable to do also in software. So as a, so somehow you can see this open source movement, because it actually started like a movement with Apache Foundation guys, and it's something like you can see it like a socialism somehow, because it's something that we all help each other. But in the end, it's a very practical ecosystem, and it helps us. And actually, there are people that only work in open source software, and they make a living out of it. So it's not easy, because the incomes are not so high, because you maybe most of the time you don't have a fixed income. But there are various models that they can make money. There are donations too. There are, I know, collaboration with other company that uses their solution in a paid one, and they give them credit. There are these licenses that could make you, like, I don't know, you have a patent or something, and they give some money to you based on that. So there are ways that open source software people working in it could be reimbursed. And it's yeah. So even if the money are less, let's say, because are considerably less, I think, than if you work for a company or for a very successful startup that has a lot of financing, the the rewarding could be more. So depending on how what is your metrics for happiness and fulfillment. So if you're happy just building open source solutions, and the money is enough for you to pay whatever is needed, and you don't have other, I don't know, I want to buy a yacht or I want to buy an island to go with my yacht too. So then it's okay, because it's working on open source. It's in much situation in my situation is more like a being in a startup. So where you are like in discovery mode, in research mode, in you are experimenting. So it's really nice for me personally. I work also in big companies, and I enjoyed that until at some point when I saw that the logistics that were happening for doing our job, it was actually taking almost more than our time. Then it was absurd for me. So when you exaggerate with story points, with respecting the story point and predictions, and respecting all those methodologies and so on, respecting all the scheduled calls, daily calls. So I didn't like it. So I moved to startups, and for I think 15 years I was only involved in startups. Uh, Most of them working, I mean, collaborating with others, but the projects were startups. And even when the company grew a little bit, the structure remained as a startup. So we had like a flat hierarchy, let's call it. We actually didn't have maybe one or two level. Okay, you have the CEO and some, but all else was very, very flat. So everyone was uh, given the opportunity to have an idea, have a suggestion. So it all turned out very well in all the projects that I worked like this. If others would like to say something else,
One thing I'd like to say
yeah.
regarding like the project that we're going to do through the course is if any of you feel like at any point, I do believe this should be said, like at any point decide that you have the ability to build something greater than the project, then I think you should go for it. Not just because Rust definitely allows you to build a lot of things, but because it's also a good thing to be able to tap into your interest. And given that we will also be here, it might be a good time for you to also get into a lot of problems, experience them, and maybe ask us so that we can help you in certain scenarios and problems that you might experience. I'm just saying this because not everyone is the same level. Some people can understand, can dedicate a lot of time to this, so you might be able to just go further. That's why.
Yeah, I think it's always very helpful to learn something also by doing it. So there are people who just think or prefer, I don't know, to just read or listen books or technical books, and then okay, at the end I go and build something, but it doesn't work like that. And also the other way, the other extreme is very, very hard to just for example, I have a friend who was trying to learn Rust, and I said, okay, I can give you an idea of an application that you could build, and I give you the Rust book to read from. And he said, okay, man, I can learn like that. I can learn from books. I need to learn by just doing it. And I will just use ChatGPT and I ask him, and I'll do it. But I said, okay, ChatGPT is quite okay, quite practical. But the problem is that you don't know what to ask him. Ask it. So you don't know what's the question. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy uh, books, and there is there the concept of 42, which is said to be the answer to life, universe, and everything. And then when they put the best computer, let's say, to calculate it, it was called Deep Mind. That's the name of the company. From there is the name of the company, Deep Mind, that created Gemini that Google has, and also has that maybe you are familiar with AlphaGo, that beat the best players in Go. And then they built also Alpha Star for StarCraft, and now lately they had like AlphaFold, and AlphaFold actually, the CEO of that company got Nobel Prize in chemistry, in biology, sorry, in biology, for doing the predicting the protein folding. So that was considered a very hard problem, because the protein folding is the way that the ribosome from the cell reads the RNA, and then uses the amino acids to build the proteins. And the idea is that those are very small pieces, and when they put together, they somehow, it's three-dimensional shape that tend to fold, and that's why it's called protein folding. And it seems that it's a very complicated. It's very complicated to predict based on the RNA sequence, and you see the amino acid that goes in. What will be the shape that will be transformed into? And they managed to calculate and predict all the possible proteins that the human body could produce. All the And actually they predicted even more, because not all are stable. So not all proteins are stable in nature, and but they could predict all of them. So that was very important, because that gave them the ability now to create better medicines, uh, targeted for a specific person medicine. So that discovery helped a lot. That's why it got that. And the idea was that that civilization used this robot to have it give them the answer to life, universe, and everything. And I don't know, it was like millennia after millennia. Then the robot gave them the answer, and then they said, okay, now we have the answer, but what is the question? So then there are another chapters that go with that. But I think many times, yeah, it is important in life to put the right question, So because if you put, there is this joke, like, or I don't know, expression like, I give you the answer like the question is, or something like such question, such answer, So if you ask something stupid, you could expect that you get a stupid answer, and that's not the problem. And yeah, I really encourage you also to, so if you feel that you are a bit more experienced in all this in Rust, you can start with a personal project, and you can do it also in parallel. And yeah, we are very glad to help you with that as much as we can, because I think this is the best way to learn something, and in my case it was too. So I can only support that. If anyone if anyone wants to speak now, speak. If not, you can speak later. Not a problem. You can speak anytime you feel. Okay. If none of you wants to speak more,
Maybe one more question.
yes.
Where will be the recordings available? Because sometimes it might be that we might miss the meetings.
Yes. So they will be uploaded on YouTube. There will be also a playlist which will contain all, and the links I will send a bit later on the Discord channel.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. And also, I'll send on the Discord channel. So the plan was for the next week until the next call for you to go over the first three chapters in the book, and I'll send all this on the Discord channel. And like said, on Thursday I'll send a poll, and please fill in that poll, and we'll see how many of you still feel that are not will not be able to complete the course, the learning of those chapters until the next call. So then we'll postpone. We can decide to postpone the call. Okay, and I think that will conclude our call for today, and I'll send all the details there. Thank you very much. I hope this is the beginning of an interesting journey, and I hope we could do something interesting together, and we can help you in learning this what I think is an amazing programming language. And enjoy the rest of the Saturday, and enjoy the weekend, enjoy the Sunday. All I wish all the best, and speak more on Discord, and we'll see you again on the next call.
Thank you very much. Have a good
Thank
evening.
you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye
everyone.
bye, bye all.